That is a damn good ratings draw, and it can be good or bad for the league this year. Even for the Houston Astros, you have a target on your back, and you haven't even won last year. Like you have a target on your back for the wrong reasons.
It irks me so much, and I've been saying it podcast after podcast after podcast after podcast that I just hate the whole entire Houston Astros situation. Just because they deserve it and they're playing victim. And again, victim, supervillain. Very ironic that those two go hand in hand. Brandon asked on our Facebook Live, you think the players are going to struggle at the plate any this year? I think they're going to struggle at the plate. I feel like the umpires are going to end up having a point of essentially squeezing the zone because they still have human catchers and human umpires. So I feel like they're going to be squeezed a lot more as long as they're not playing in Houston. I also think that they're not going to see too many good pitches. They're going to be thrown inside and at their body a lot more, and that's how they're going to get around the hit by pitch rule that, they're not going to be beamed every time that they're up at the plate. They're going to get around it somehow. Anyways, though, as we end up changing topics from the MLB to wrestling, as mentioned, as we close this week's podcast on the We Like Sports Podcast, which can be seen on Apple, Google, Spotify, Stitcher. Check us out there. Also, Rick, show off that shirt one more time. If you're interested in the shirt, definitely contact us on either our Facebook page, We Like Sports Podcast, Twitter at We Like Sports PC. Our Instagram's the same as our Twitter. Definitely check us out. Fancy t-shirts, fancy hoodies, fancy tank tops, all for a decent price too as well. That's my sales pitch. Also, we might have a new logo coming up soon. Stay tuned for that. Tuned, not tombed. But as we go forward, as we go into wrestling, Riggs, I know that you are a big fan of the fact that Bill Goldberg beat The Fiend at Super Showdown for the Universal Championship. Please elaborate.
I fucking hate it. Vince McMahon, you bury your future for your past. You bury your future for your past. You bury your future for your past. And I can't say that so many times. I am tired of seeing these grizzled old veterans that I've seen all the time. That's why I don't even watch AEW, because I don't want to hear Jim Ross fuck up words that he don't even know new school terminology. I don't want to hear Tony Schiavone call a match. I'm 32 years old, and I am grateful that I seen those guys call great matches. But we're in the year 2020. I don't know why professional wrestling likes to live in the past. When there are so many younger talents, I guarantee people on their fucking roster feel so insecure or feel like, why am I even here when this guy who shows up once a year gets a title shot, or this pretty boy with a Samoan tattoo and blue eyes says, I'm next, and he gets a title shot.
Who is that pretty boy with Samoan blue eyes?
You know who the fuck he is. But I don't know. I think it's horrible, and it kind of makes me not want to watch WrestleMania. Oh, but Riggs, you have a wrestling logo tattooed on your chest. So the fuck what? Who the fuck cares? Even though I'm in love with wrestling, you can still piss me off, just like your spouse, just like your relatives. That's just how much I'm just that passionate about this situation right now. I think that was a wrong move to put the belt on Goldberg. You should have had John Cena versus The Fiend for the belt, because The Fiend's getting revenge. He wants to change Cena. Cena wants to get the 17 to pass Ric Flair. Why can't you do that? But no, there's a senile old man who can't hack it anymore, and he wants to run the shows for him, and he forgot who the fuck put him in those situations.
Also, too, just to kind of break it down, I went on our Periscope after Super Showdown, after seeing that result, after getting out of work.
Yeah, this dude Brandon, I don't really watch wrestling anymore because of that. He's right. They don't push the newer gen. They really don't. I would love to see Aleister Black or Andrade as WWE champ. And some people are like, no, it won't be right. The reason why? Because you're so brainwashed of them showing you who is the idea champ. And don't even get me started on Charlotte Flair. I'm going to have to stop this situation right now.
No, keep going. This is gold. This is gold. Like Goldberg getting the gold. Anyways, though, the fact that I actually went on Periscope, I ended up mentioning Super Showdown, and we actually had really good feedback. But I had all intention of watching Super Showdown after I got home from work at 3. Had the drive home still going on. It was the main event. And by the time I got home, I ended up getting off the highway. I scrolled through Twitter.
His name's Eric Matthews. That's funny. Boy Meets World. I'm sorry.
But anyways, you just end up scrolling through. You see in that pretty much the main event's over with. Goldberg beats The Fiend. And I had no longer any intention of actually watching the show because there's no point. It's absolutely atrocious. Why? Why couldn't... Bray Wyatt's a very unique character. And that's the thing. Very unique to the point. Maybe I'm just thinking way too hard, but the fact that Bray Wyatt ended up having the possibility, you could have the lights go out. Lights go out, 1, 2, disappear. It was no DQ. Am I just too obvious?
No,
because there's so many different ways. The belt didn't have to change.
You just like to put logic in things, but they don't.
You could have literally protected Bray Wyatt so much to the point that it's 1, 2, lights go out, Goldberg's pinning the mat with nobody underneath him. Still Universal Champion, Bray Wyatt.
On SmackDown, when those two were face to face, and you got your crowd saying, "You both suck, you both suck," there's an issue right there. That is an issue, and I guarantee, I put this on my dead mother. I guarantee that match is that's going to be the last image we fucking see at WrestleMania is Roman Reigns with the fucking belt. That is going to be the main event. But last year they gave us what we wanted. We wanted Becky to win. We wanted Seth to win. We wanted Kofi to win. And I was surprised they gave us that. Now the old man wants to do it his way. He wants the blonde daughter of Ric Flair to have the belt, and he wants the pretty boy Samoan man to have the belt to end this year's show. So it's once again, I don't want to sound like a broken record. It's a double-edged sword. I love professional wrestling, but some of the things that go on in that industry, I just question my ability on why have I stuck around to still watch it.
All right. Well, changing topics before I give you an aneurysm, as that seems to be the trend on the We Like Sports podcast, giving every one of us on the podcast an aneurysm. Cena versus The Fiend. It's happening at WrestleMania. So's Roman Reigns and Goldberg, because apparently you could just come out and say, "I'm next," like you said, and get a title shot. Again, logic isn't there. But Cena versus The Fiend, very well put together, in my opinion. What are your thoughts? I enjoy it. I'm for it. Like you said, it should have been for the belt.
Should have been. It has way more of a perfect meaning for that match, for the belt. Like, once again, you know, Bray Wyatt took a loss to John Cena at WrestleMania 30, yep. Right? Exactly, WrestleMania 30.
31, one of the two.
It was because 31 he faced Rusev. Okay. John Cena did. He took a loss to him at WrestleMania 30. So let's get payback. I'm a whole nother person from the last time you whooped my ass, and it's for the belt, and you want to beat Ric Flair. I'm not that much of a John Cena fan. He's probably a cool human being and a cool person. But as a professional wrestler, I really don't care for him. But that match would have my butt in the seat because, hey, I want The Fiend to win, and I don't want Cena to beat Ric Flair. So right there, you have my butt planted in a seat.
And also, too, imagine this. I'm going to leave you with this before we end up wrapping up our live stream on Facebook and also our recording of this edition of the We Like Sports podcast. How about the fact if Bray Wyatt ended up beating John Cena comes back the next night, and you officially get bad John Cena.
The Doctor of Thugonomics?
Exactly.
Or hell, he can even go before that and come out as the prototype talking backwards.
I wasn't even around for that. That's how young I am.
Damn. It can go either way, and either way, that's very entertaining. You know, like, I used to love John Cena coming out rapping. I remember he battled. Well, it really wasn't a battle rap. He just dogged Rey Mysterio.
Him and Big Show, him and Kurt Angle.
Simon Dean, like, he rapped against anybody. He even smacked Stephanie McMahon's ass back on SmackDown a long time ago after a freestyle. If you don't remember that, YouTube it or go on the network for that. And the Cleveland Cavaliers are losing at the end of the first quarter to the Utah Jazz, 25-31.
You know their names. But yeah, imagine the amount of different routes that you can end up going if you end up having John Cena losing